Hi, folks. Steve Urban here, founder and CEO at Riderflex. We hope you enjoy today's podcast. And as a reminder, please subscribe to the Riderflex show for updates on new episodes. And by the way, if you haven't already, check out the book we recently launched, The Riderflex Guide, Inspiring and Hiring, available for purchase on Amazon. And now, a quick word from our sponsor.
Try the #1 marketing platform for small business. Everything you need from design to marketing to CRM. Learn more at marketing360.com. Marketing 360. Fuel your brand.
Wyatt Ewing on the Riderflex podcast. Hello, Wyatt. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. Excited to do this.
It sounds like a movie star name that for a guy that would be in Westerns. Wyatt Ewing. Right?
I appreciate that. I'll take that. Actually, I was named after Wyatt Earp, so it fits the bill.
Your mom and dad were Western fans, were they?
Yeah, big time. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. They live up in Wyoming, and they live on a ranch. So
there you go.
Had to be.
There you go. Well, tell me about your family a little bit, some personal stuff. Mom, dad, where you grew up, siblings. Give us some of that if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. So goodness, depending on how far we want to go back. I grew up in Colorado Springs. My dad worked in contracting, just like general contracting.
Okay.
My granddad on my mom's side, he was a U.S. astronaut. He was the 8th man to walk on the moon. So,
what? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Grew up with a strong fascination in space and exploration and pioneering. Okay. His name was Jim Irwin. He was a very fascinating human and
cool.
Also inspiring as well, right?
Yes.
Especially, I guess, those early days, we were still a lot closer to, space exploration. So just growing up, it was exciting to have that lineage, and it was motivating. And yeah, grew up in Colorado Springs, had a couple siblings. And yeah, I had an interesting upbringing. My dad was in a bad car accident in '99. And so, that shifted a lot in our family history, and just had to become really scrappy and very like survivalist. The car accident was pretty significant and created a lot of damage.
He didn't work after that. He didn't work.
Man, not for like 10 years.
Oof. Wow.
Yeah. So it was tough. But
how old were you? Was that 99? How old were you? Right around.
Yeah, I was 6 or 7 when that had happened.
Wow. Okay.
So by 9, I got I've literally been working since 9 years old because my mom, right? We needed financial support. So my brother and we would just chip in where we could. And while we were going to school, we would get up super early, and this guy named Rick owned a ranch, and he would breed Mustangs for racing. So like super aggressive horses.
Yeah.
He hired us to feed them. So my brother was just a year and a half older. He was like, okay, so I was 9. He was like 11, just turned 11. He would drive this huge ranch truck. I would sit on the back with like 30 different bowls of food. And my job was to jump out of the truck, set them down, and then get back in the truck as fast as possible before I got trampled by these super aggressive horses, because these horses are just trained to breed, right? And so they wanted just to eat you.
First job, Mustang horse feeder. I like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. Very unsafe. Very, like, looking back, shocked that we were even in that position. Like,
right.
I mean, there were times where I would be sprinting for my life away from these wild horses. And but it taught me a really good work ethic. The guy was really cruel, really harsh. And at the time it was really hard, but like it just gave me a lot of grit.
Did you guys live on a farm? Did you live on some acreage or anything? No. Okay.
No. It was very new to it. My name fit the bill though. So like, I guess, Wyatt,
Right.
the Western name. So I don't know.
What
But
kind of kid?
anyhow,
What kind of kid did you end up being? Teenager? Were you rebel? Were you in trouble? Were you good kid? Straight A's?
I wouldn't say I was a good kid. I was a anxious kid, but I was also extremely driven from all of the, again, because I went from that job to another job. And so I got this like entrepreneurial drive early on, coupled with a lot of grit. Like I knew that we were here before my dad's accident. Now we're here. I want to get out of this. And so I was very focused, but struggled with a lot of anxiety. And I definitely overcompensated with confidence. And so my thing was like super confident. I guess I would mouth off to my teachers and tell them that I make more money than they do. And like I was a cocky, arrogant little kid. But I don't know. I needed that. Like I used to look back and really regret that. But now when I look back on myself, I have a lot more compassion because like so much of my life like was just based in survival. Like I just had to look out for me.
Right.
And again, it gave me the grit that I needed in life to get to the other side of it all. And so I at times like I'm thankful for the struggle that I went through.
How's your dad now? Is he still with us or no?
Yeah. Yep. It took him a while. He did make a decent recovery, and he's back working. And yeah, he got back up on his feet. He had a lot of brain injuries and a lot of breaks in his body that he had to come back from. But he did it.
Does he work for you?
No, he does not. Maybe one day. I'd hire him. I'd hire him.
Any family members work for you?
Yeah, so I do. I have one sister that works for me. Yeah, it was a tough decision. I was super nervous about it. Just because I didn't know if it would change any dynamic in the relationship or family. And I didn't know she could handle the workload either, if I'm honest. But she has turned out to be an incredible employee for the company, and she does an amazing job.
Your mom, I wanted to ask about her. Tough. Did she stay with your dad? Did they stay married through all that?
Hey, yeah, they did. They stayed married. Hats off to them. They stayed married. She stuck with him. She's been through hell and back. And I think when you go through things like that, like there are pieces of you that break, and sometimes they get put back together, sometimes they don't, and maybe that's okay, right? Maybe those like hardships I think break you in different ways, and sometimes you can piece together, sometimes you can't, but it makes for good stories and good learning experiences.
No doubt. I mean, what a tragedy that happened, but it shaped your entire family in so many different ways, right? I mean, really, and kudos to your mom for sticking it out there, and because she could have easily just bailed, right? She could have just been like, yeah, I'm out.
Sure. Yeah, totally.
Okay, I appreciate you sharing that with me, man. All right, so did you go to, because I'm looking at your LinkedIn, but it's not like you said, you're not a LinkedIn guy. Did you go to school? Walk me through any college or early career.
Yeah, so I'm not a social media guy in general, but I did go to high school, and getting out of high school, I was doing pretty well for myself. So after the different like job paths, right, I found myself in like these commission-based jobs, and I found out that I was a decent salesman. And so I just wanted to keep selling more and more expensive stuff because it paid bigger and bigger commissions. So I jumped right into let's see, I started out selling like nice shoes, like expensive shoes. And then from there, I went to art and fine jewelry and sculptures and different paintings from medium to high-end art from all over the world would come to a gallery, and I would sell from there. And then I think in that job, I was like 20, right? So I was still super young, and I got married, got into some real estate deals. And then that was helpful.
So let me pause you right there. You got married at like 2021. That's young.
I got married at 20. Yeah. We were
20.
both 20 when we got married. I met this girl and yeah. Yep. I met her and I couldn't live without her. Still can't.
And she's your wife now. Well, there's internet unstable. What do we got going on here, Wyatt? You got the internet? Can you hear me now, buddy? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Mine shows it strong. I don't know if it's just a Zoom thing.
I don't know. Could be. Mine's showing okay too. Well, I don't know. Let's keep going here. For the audience, we'll keep going here. And if we have to stop and edit it, we will.
Okay.
How'd you meet her?
So I'm just checking my connection real fast.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. For the audience, so that I don't have to necessarily edit this, I'm going to entertain you while Wyatt is checking his internet, because this is what you do when you have a podcast and you have both on internet connection. This shit happens, right? You got to make these little adjustments.
All right, I'm good. It shows it's stable, and I'm good.
Right.
So
how'd you meet her? Yeah.
Okay. So right after I graduated, we went to a park with a bunch of friends, and she happened to be there, and I was instantly attracted to her. And she was my first girlfriend. I was so focused from a young age and just very driven that I didn't spend any time, even though I was very interested in girls, I didn't spend any time dating. And so I was like, when I graduated, I was like 17, 18. Yeah. And then, I just locked in. Like everything else, super driven. Found her, I locked in, and she was a hot commodity. I guess there was a lot of guys trying to date her, but I guess I won. Right, I was the most aggressive, male dominant out of them all, and I went for it.
Did she go to college, or she was just out of high school as well?
Just out of high school as well.
Wow.
I don't know. I guess college was a little overrated. If you go to college to make a good living, like, check the box. I was done. So I just went straight to family.
I love that. Now, if you were from Oklahoma, which is where I'm from, and you told me that you didn't go to college, you got married right out of high school, I would think, okay, that happens to a lot of people where I'm from. But Colorado,
sure.
That's not necessarily, that's not the norm.
Not the norm, not super admired by any stretch. No, there was a challenge for sure. But
okay, you meet her and she's like, so what do you do for a living? And you're like, well, hey, I hustle, I sell shit, and oh, by the way, I got some real estate stuff going on. Basically,
yeah. Her dad did not take me seriously. She was super curious, but I just kept taking her on these really nice, fancy dates. And it seemed to work. So
I love it, man. And so, all right. So right around then, are you just hustling and grabbing deals when they come to you, and you're just thinking, I'm an entrepreneur, I can hustle anything, I'm making a living, or did you start to formulate a plan, or were you just shooting?
Not yet. No,
you're just Wyatt Earp, shooting from the lip. Shooting from the hip. What are you doing?
I'm just shooting from the hip. Yeah. So I found, and this helped me. I don't think this is for everybody, but it helped me. So a lot of people, they think, I want to do this type of work to make this type of money. My mindset was, I want this type of money. I'll do any type of work to get there, in the way to get me to the money. And that was like my focus. Yep. And so at the time it was art and jewelry. And then from there, I went to these really like high-end home remodels. How
the hell did you get into that? How did you even get into that? Like, how does that even happen?
Okay. So I sold shoes to a lady that worked at the art gallery, and she hired me from there. And then somebody introed me to this home remodeling company, and I got an interview, and they were just impressed that I could sell stuff. And so they then hired me, and I became and I don't say this to brag at all, because it was just unusual, but I got into there and I immediately maxed out within like the first year their whole compensation plan that was supposed to be unattainable. And then I struggled with a little bit of boredom, because I kind of did everything I was told to do there. And But I stuck it out for a few years, and it provided a great living for my wife and I. But I would still say, like, just from childhood, I really struggled during that time with anxiety and just feeling like everything was just survival based, right? And so it didn't matter how much money I made, it didn't matter the work that I was doing, it just was never enough, because from such a young age, it was like just constantly having to, like, I was so scrappy and having to survive. So really struggled with anxiety and in different forms of depression. That it was pretty intense at different points. Thankfully my wife was super supportive, and yeah, she was always right there for me.
Were you on meds? Did you see counselors for it? I mean, was it that bad? Was it super bad?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I've done quite a bit of therapy in my life, and life coaching. I was not on meds. I didn't want to go that route. I preferred a more holistic lifestyle. But I tried other, which we can get into, because that's kind of how I started the company, was I was looking for forms of healing for what I had at the time just caused stress, right? I would just call it stress. My anxiety was just stress. So did the home remodeling thing for a while, and then I went into corporate aviation, and started selling jets. That was the biggest jump.
You're grabbing stuff as it's coming to you. You're like, I can sell anything. It don't matter. Now I'm gonna sell jets. I don't know anything about jets, but I can sell them.
Exactly. That's exactly how it went. That was a learning curve, but got into a really sweet gig. Super thankful for I worked then as a 1099 contractor as an aircraft brokerage for a specific form, and super thankful for the guy's name was Pat, who took me under his wing, taught me everything he knew in regard to aviation. Not everything, he taught me a lot, and I was super thankful for that. Yeah, it was cool. I really enjoyed what I was doing at the time. And then unfortunately, I actually just talked to Pat the other day, which was cool to reconnect with him. And I still have given him a hard time. He ended up merging with another aviation company. And I was so bummed out, because when you merge and it turns more corporate, like I had to now follow all of their rules, compensation changed, just was a brutal acquisition. And then so then I ended up quitting that, just because I got to a place where I couldn't make a good living there, because the mindset was I was younger, so that they didn't think that, like, I needed as much. So they started off paying horrible salaries, and they cut our commissions in half. But like even though I was so young, I already had grown. I had a family, I had a kid by this point, and we were planning on another one. We had a beautiful home, so I just couldn't, like, they took a senior position and put me back into like an entry level position, and it didn't make sense. So I couldn't sustain it. So that was when anxiety peaked at an all-time high. And I needed something new in life, and I knew I needed to hit the reset button, because I was working for so hard for so long. Like I was like, I don't know, I was in my like mid-20s having this like midlife crisis. Like it was just too much. And I wasn't showing up well for my wife and kid like I wanted to be. I wasn't focused on anything like personal passion or interest. It was just like grinding and work to attain some level of security that I don't think I ever would have found in that state.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had just left the aviation firm, and I was at a just all-time low in life. Anxiety was at an all-time high. And I was looking for other ways just to, like, in my mind, reduce the stress. And so from there, the stranger told me to take a cold shower. I went home, took a cold shower, and changed my life.
Were you like, bro, seriously? I mean, were you like, okay, I guess I'll take a cold shower. I can just imagine you come home and your wife's standing there and you're like, yeah, I'm going to go take a cold shower so I feel better.
I don't think I told her. I think I just went straight upstairs, turned the water cold, and like just shivered. And I was counting, trying to like see how long I could stay in. And then when I got out of the cold shower, I was like, wow, I feel really good. And I haven't felt this good in a long time. I don't know why. I don't know what it was, but there was something that it did to me that it just made my body and my mind feel at peace and feel good.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah.
All right. And you weren't working. So now right there at that moment, had you quit and you had quit your job and you're thinking, how am I going to make a living? Was just for the listeners, was your wife working? Did you have some real estate? Like, were you okay financially, or was it like ramen noodles right away?
No, my wife was not working. We were okay financially for a little bit,
Okay.
but that went away fast. So yeah, so I got into cold showers, and then I was just looking for other deals in all different verticals. I was just looking for, again, the idea was always get to the money, doesn't matter the work. So I was just doing whatever, and I did a lot of weird stuff in between. So anyhow, I continued in cold showers because it was like a quantifiable thing that changed my behavior, my attitude, my outlook on life. It like calmed the storm inside. And it was, as hard as it was like the suffering was worse. I'll do it all day.
Interesting.
Now I just started. Yeah.
During that time, was your father-in-law like telling your wife, like, Wyatt has got to get his shit together? Like, what is he going to do with his life? There had to be some of that going on.
I would not have been surprised. If there was, I would not be surprised. But I think I was also like, I don't know, I was super reserved and quiet, and
really?
I didn't, not like about the situation. I don't think people knew like how bad the situation was except my wife. And I think she was very concerned about me for sure. But definitely, like, it didn't make sense to a lot of people. Especially why like I quit the aviation gig. Because then the pivot was, I'm going to share cold therapy with everybody. Like, this was back before people were practicing ice baths, cold therapy, before it was cool, and no pun intended. And so I just was like, I'm gonna like share the power of cold therapy and create the best cold therapy experience. Like, people need to feel this. So that's what I did. I ended up developing a product based around, like, I want to get out of the shower, I want to get out of the family bathtub, I want it to be its own meditative space outside, and then there are a bunch of other little requirements. And so I built the product to what I wanted, and then started just like refining it. Now, in between there, I still had to put food on the table, so I was doing a lot of different stuff. I was like Polo the game. I was selling sponsorship for a polo club. I was doing a little bit of home remodeling stuff. I kept a small book of aviation, so I was selling some planes on the side for different customers. Yeah, did a lot of different stuff just to keep going.
Whatever it takes.
It got tough. Yeah, it got really tough. And there were a lot of scary days for sure. Especially, I got to the point where I was like, okay, I got to go all in on Ice Barrel, on the company. And so then I was like using like our last like $20,000 to buy equipment, and it was so scary.
Oh man, you're going all in. You're going all in now. Yeah. So how long did it take for the R&D, so to speak, or the development of the barrel? Was that over a year? Was that over 6 months?
It was over a year. It was a year. And then the following year, like, we started getting sales, and it was like a thing. And then the following year, it really started growing. And then that was like 2020. And then 2021, it just took off. It just took off.
And is that because of your selling skills, your marketing skills? What was the turning point? What happened? Did you get featured in a magazine? Like, was there a moment where it was like, bam, all of a sudden everybody knows about Ice Barrel?
Yeah, I think it was, I'm a big believer in like 1% improvements every day. And I think it was a lot of doing a lot of the right things consistently, the little things consistently. And I mean, the team that I hired to support me in this, like, they're all geniuses, and they're all way smarter than I am. I was just, I guess, clever enough to put them together. And so we have amazing marketers on our team, amazing,
Okay.
just operationally, different positions. So I knew I needed people that were better than me, in a lot of different areas to help build this. So I hired really smart people. And then, yeah, we're like, I'm really big that we can focus on our attitude and our efforts, and the results will take care of themselves. And so I just focused on those two things. How do I improve my attitude towards myself, towards life, towards all the situations that I found myself in? And how can I put 100% effort in every single day? And I think the team took that as well, and we just grew.
Icebarrel.com for the listeners. Talk to us about the product. I got some questions here. Let's get into the barrel. I watched the videos. I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, this is cool. I want to try this. And, now it's popular. Like you said, you started doing it before it's popular. Now, Joe Rogan and everybody else that has a podcast talks about the ice bath all the time. So now everybody's doing it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm looking at your barrel and I right away, I'm like, okay, what's different about the barrel? Tell me about the barrel. The very first thing I want to know is why is this barrel special, and what keeps me from just going down to Ace Hardware and buying a barrel and filling it with some ice? Talk to me. Give it to me.
Yeah. I got you. So again, your options to practice cold exposure is your shower. Start there. That's a great starting point. And then you're going to naturally want to get into full body submersion. So you can go to you can use your family bathtub. You can go grab a stock tank. Those things are very inexpensive and a great way to start. That's what I did.
Okay.
A couple of things that I would say is when you get into a cold body of water, your body goes into the fight or flight response. And when you're trying to lie back in the fight or flight response, it's counterintuitive to what the body and mind want to do. So how can we put ourselves in the most comfortable position in an uncomfortable environment where we're engaging the water? If you think about it in nature, when do you ever go in the fight or flight response and then lay backwards and expose the front side of your body? You never do, right? The fight or flight response is protection. It's leaning in, it's engaging, right? And so I wanted to create this experience where, just like you're in a cold lake where you're sitting upright, or a river, right? You're in the upright position taking an ice bath. Your spine is straight, which makes concentration and breathing easier, and also is a better supportive position while you're in the fight or flight response. So a lot of it was like about positioning. Well, then I wanted other things. I wanted a product that was big enough to fit most body types. Our barrel is 105 gallons. Whereas if you go to like a Tractor Supply, they're all 55 gallons. Well, what most people don't realize is you can't, like, I'm only 5'7". I can't get in a 55-gallon drum. Like, there's not enough room in there for my knees, right? So there were barriers to entry to just other than like a family bathtub, right? Or a horse trough. So yeah, I wanted something that was big enough, something that was sustainable. So our product is made, our black barrel is made from 100% recycled materials. So I wanted to build sustainability into the business as well.
Okay. What's it made from? Is that patented, super secret, top secret?
No, not at all. It's made from LLDPE, which is a low linear density polyethylene. It's the same thing that is used in like food packaging, portable water storage. When they clamp an umbilical cord on a baby, it's like a medical grade plastic. It's the same type of plastic. So it's a non-toxic, it doesn't leach any toxins, microplastic, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really cool product.
Where are you having it made at?
Here in the US, yep, we manufacture the product in Ohio. We control the whole manufacturing process from start to finish.
Wow, how about that? Okay, very good. And how long? Go ahead.
Well, okay, so get this. In 2019, living in Castle Rock, Colorado, and I needed a better way to scale the business, and so moved my family out here to Ohio. Which was definitely the right move because we needed change, and my wife and I were passionate about what we were building with the business, and we needed to be in a more industrial place. And the way that we make our product, Ohio is like the epicenter for that in the US. So needed to get to Ohio. So 2019, moved out here to Ohio. to keep building the business.
Oh, okay, but you don't. You partner with a manufacturer that makes it for you, and then you warehouse it. So you handle warehousing, distribution, marketing. So you handle everything except for the manufacturing.
Not necessarily. We handle quite a bit of the manufacturing. Like we buy the plastic, and we rent the machines, but we control the actual like manufacturing process.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all our IP.
Okay.
Even getting it's very, very challenging to be able to make the product. If you think about it, there is no plastic barrel out there that is an actual true barrel. If you look at rain barrels, they have straight walls or they have a flat back. We're the only product that is an actual true barrel shape, all the way around 360. So it's a very complicated manufacturing process, but we dialed it in. You should have seen our boneyard of failed barrels.
How long does the barrel last? I mean, if I buy one, is it like 5 years, 10 years? What is it?
Yeah, we have a lifetime warranty on that barrel.
Wow. How about that?
Lifetime warranty. It's not going anywhere. If it does break too, we will, like, for whatever reason, like, if it were break down, we would cover it under the warranty. I'm so confident in the product that we created. I'll replace if it goes bad in 50 years, that's on us. We'll replace it.
Are you creating a company though that's going to? Now I'm thinking like an investor. That's cool. You got one SKU. What else are you selling me? Is there add-ons? Is there premiums? What else are you going to do? Are you going to create some other products for this company?
Yeah, 100%. So we already have, and we're excited to launch a lot of them this year. But after we created the product, we then, probably about a year and a half later, we created a maintenance kit to care for the product as well.
Perfect. Good job.
And
nice.
So,
good.
Yeah,
good,
thank
good,
you.
Yes.
So we did that, and the maintenance kit is amazing. It's helped tremendously.
Maintenance kit, and the maintenance kit is something that has to be replenished.
That is correct. Yep.
Good man. Okay, now I'm ready to invest.
Cool. Sounds good. I'll send you a pitch deck.
Let me. Can you tell me, are the prices on the website, or is it the prices top secret on the website, or what's the deal?
No. It's $1,000 to buy a barrel. You get the barrel, the base, the lid, the step stool, the cover. I'm sure
the hot chick that's on the website, can she deliver it and set it up for me? The brunette that's on the website.
Oh gosh, I don't know who that is, but I can arrange that if you'd like.
You don't know who that is? It's the model you hired. What are you talking about?
We switch out images all the time.
Oh, do you? Okay, she's a brunette. She's in like a leather bikini. I'm like, okay, hot chicks do sell stuff, so I get it.
I didn't. Yeah, I'm not aware of
that. Good answer, Wyatt. No, she's not the one. You got old ladies in the older ladies in the barrels on the main page. But if you scroll down, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, there we go. I'm interested in. Okay, never mind. Kim, I know my wife's gonna watch this too. She's gonna give me hell about it. Okay, I got off track. I went down a rabbit hole. Where was I, Wyatt? Oh, we're talking about the cost of the barrel. $1,000.
Yep, $1,000.
$1,000. How about to get it? Is that delivered, or do I have to pay another $200 to get it delivered and all that?
No, I mean we give out free shipping from time to time, so just keep watching the site to get free shipping. But shipping's not expensive. We worked really, really, really hard, to get really good rates with FedEx. And so we've been working with them for a long time, and they're an amazing partner of ours. So $95, you can pretty much get it anywhere in the US.
Okay. Are you only selling direct to the consumer from your website, or where else are you selling them?
Yeah, so we have a dealer network as well, like Huckberry, Rogue Fitness. You can buy them from there as well. There's about 55 dealers across the US and Canada that resell our product. A few little mom and pop shops store some inventory of the product as well.
Okay, when you say dealers, you mean wholesalers, or do you mean like gyms, or what do you mean?
Yeah, so somebody that has an online brand or store, and they buy the product wholesale and sell it retail.
Okay, very good. You selling them wholesale for what, 500?
I wish. I wish. Like I said, we control the whole process, but recycled plastic is very expensive, and it's a very complicated product to make.
Okay. All right. Very good. How long does the ice last? That was one of my other questions. I noticed it had a lid and everything. How often do I have to put ice in it? And do I just freshen it up with ice, or do I have to empty the whole thing and put fresh ice in? Can you talk to me about that?
Yeah, 100%. So if you're in regard to like the water, if you use the maintenance kit, you can get, 4 to 8 weeks out of the life of the water. So you're not having to dump
Nice.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Create some longevity. And then we have a really cool drainage system on it. You can hook up any standard garden hose, and then you can go water your plants with it as well. Like, you don't have to waste the water. You don't have to just flood your patio. You can direct the water where you want it, which was huge for me because I wanted to be able to, living in the city, I wanted to be able to reuse the water to water my grass or my plants, things like that. And as you know, living in Colorado, city water is expensive.
Yeah.
It's expensive. My water bill when I was doing R&D on this, right? Because I'm filling up tons of barrels. I was paying like $600 to $800 a month in water living in Castle Rock, Colorado. It was insane.
How do you keep it from freezing, by the way? I was thinking about that this morning when I went outside. It's like 4 degrees here in Colorado today when we're recording this. And I thought, okay, well, what if my barrel's outside? How do I keep it from freezing?
Good question. So here's what you do. You go in your garage and you find a hammer or a large stone or dumbbell, and you go out and you break up the ice, and then you get in and you don't have to add ice. You're good to go.
I like that. So actually in the winter, it's actually even easier because the ice will stay in there like forever.
Yeah. I mean, in Colorado, like the fall, winter, and springtime, you're fine. The water temperature stays low because it gets cold enough at night. And that's for a lot of places here in the US. And then in the summertime, you can use ice, or you can use a water chiller to keep the water cold.
Okay. And what's the temperature supposed to be when I get in it, roughly?
Yeah. 55 degrees is a great place to start. 55 to 60 degrees, start there. And then as you build up a tolerance to the cold, you can go a little bit lower. I've been doing it for 5+ years now. So I take my ice bath at 44 degrees. And I'll stay in from anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes. But I would say, I also have a sauna. And so when I'm doing the sauna, the protocol is I'm in the sauna for 10 minutes, the ice for 3 to 4 minutes. And I do that back and forth. Okay. Is there any safety risk? Health? Like, could I have a heart attack and die if I crawl into this thing? My body thinks I'm freezing. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So now I have to tell you to go consult your medical practitioner before practicing cold therapy. So definitely recommend that. Read all of the terms and conditions before you buy on the website. There are health risks. Again, if you have different mobility issues, if you have poor circulation, if you have heart problems, you should definitely find out if cold plunging is safe for you. Once you get the okay from your doctor, again, you want to ease into it. Start with a cold shower, then start filling up your bathtub, see how you like that, then get an ice barrel, see how you like that, and then start working on getting the water colder and colder. But most people find that, 55 to 60 degrees is actually extremely tolerable. And that you don't have to be extreme in order to get the benefits.
Okay, very good. Is your wife involved with the company? Does she help you, or is she just raising those two kids that's on the videos? 2 beautiful children you got. I think it's 2, right? Pretty sure.
3. We got 3 little babies.
3.
3
That's
little
right.
babies. Yep. 2 girls and a boy. We love them dearly. And she is, when she is not involved in like the day-to-day of the business, but it would discredit her immensely. Like, she is my better half and keeps me going every day. So like, her support and advocacy of the work that I do here is greatly appreciated. And I couldn't do what I do without her. So I'm very, very grateful for her.
A nightly advisor too. I'm sure you're talking to her about things at work, and she's like, "Well, have you tried this?"
All the time. Yeah. She's a great people person. So she helps me make good decisions when it comes to people. So very thankful for her.
It's so interesting. My wife works for us here at Riderflex. Our day job is a recruiting firm, and my wife started working for the company recently, and her title is, on the org chart, is technically smaller than couple of people that work for me, right? And I had to remind one of my workers the other day. I said, "Hey, look, here's the deal. She's married to me, the founder, the CEO. Like, I don't care what her title is. If she says I want the office painted green, that's probably what you should do,
That's what you do. Absolutely.
I mean, she don't go around barking out orders, but when she does ask for something, yeah,
you got to do it.
Probably a good idea if you do it.
That's right.
What's the plan, Wyatt? What are we doing here? I mean, by the way, how big is the company now? And I don't know if you want to talk about revenue or maybe you just want to talk about people, but give us a general idea of how big you are right now.
Yeah. So we are, we've helped over 6,500 people get colder, feel better through our product.
Great.
We have around 9 full-time employees. We're growing rapidly.
Okay.
And our vision is we see a future where the power of cold therapy enhances the potential of everybody everywhere. And we're on a mission to make cold therapy accessible and effective and to share the power of cold. So that's what we're doing. And I think,
have you taken on cash or did you bootstrap this thing? Where are you at with cash raise?
Yeah, so bootstrapped it, just started our first capital round, which we're really excited about. And yeah, that's our first one. So
what are you raising? Can you tell us? Can you share it?
Yeah, you got to email me and I'll vet you. And if you're the right person, I'll disclose all the details.
Okay, but you're in a raise. What are you calling it? Are you calling it like a Angel, Seed, Series A? What are you titling it?
Yeah, so it's not a good question. No a-hole round. We're
I like that.
We're finding the right people that can help us grow the brand strategically to help enhance and grow the vision of sharing the power of cold. And it's kind of like a hybrid round, I guess. We're not, I wouldn't call it like a Series A. I think that's down the road. But it's just kind of like a hybrid round yeah.
You prefer individuals and angel and like family offices, or you're talking to PE and VC?
Yeah, I'm looking for the right people that catch the vision. I'm not looking for a bag of cash. There's a lot of money out there. I'm looking for the right people that can help the company grow and share an interest in cold therapy and health and wellness.
Now, you are a master salesman. You are a hustler. So I'm guessing pitching to rich people to give you cash that's for you. It's going to be like easy, no problem.
I mean, I'm so passionate about what I do, so I think that just bleeds through.
Do you live on this I saw it like a little farm with chickens and all this stuff in the YouTube video. Like, is that really your place, or was that just for the shot?
No, that's my place. Yep, we have. Here's the thing. I've gotten myself into so many weird situations with different projects trying to impress the kids. So right now, yeah, we have some chickens, we have some peacocks, we have a golden retriever, and I mean, I feel like I'm very intentional with how I live, how I eat, how I move. And I just try to be a good example to my kids and show them how to do the same thing.
You're obviously eating and doing all the right things. I saw you with your shirt off in the damn video. You're in pretty good shape. Was that a body double, or was that really you?
Oh man, that's probably my stunt man.
I mean, seriously, I'm like, damn, look, he's working out in the gym. He's like, is your wife in great shape like you too?
Oh yeah, she's a smoke show. No, she's just kidding. That's a weird term. No, she's in incredible shape. She's a much better athlete than I'll ever be.
Really? Okay, well, you're a pretty good athlete. Okay, I mean, you're looking good in that. You're selling it, man. You're selling it. I love it, man. Hey, listen, I love your hustle. You are a hustler, my friend. I mean, you're one of those guys. You're like, hey, I'll do whatever. Like you said, you're chasing the cash, but you chased the cash earlier. Now you're actually able to chase cash with a passion, which is nice, right, for you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I got to a place in life where just through a lot of therapy and self-awareness that I found that I like is maybe as strange as it sounds to some people, like there's a world where you can be fully out of control and fully safe at the same time. and that your childhood traumas and challenges don't have to define your future. And so I found that place of peace in life, and I do not chase money like I used to. And I'm really thankful for that. And what I am chasing would be just a more meaningful life that is sustainable and that my kids can look up to one day and be like, dad did a good job. Dad showed up for us every day. Dad showed us what it means to love well, lead well, sacrifice well, suffer well. And I think that's what I'm looking for.
That's a good place to end the show right there, Wyatt. Thank you very much for sharing your story on the Riderflex podcast, sir. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Super happy to be here.
Right there.